All right, everybody. It's 11 o'clock. Monday morning. The
I'm
king
hydrated.
of the master of the universes is here.
Yeah.
The Mark Puttenvink, Patriot
Well-
Training Systems. He trains anybody. Navy
All right.
SEALs, Green Berets. That was interesting having, what was our buddy, the Green Beret that we had on? What was his name again?
Well, he was Green Beret, named Delta Force. Zach Harrison.
Okay, so give me, I keep getting that mixed up. So Delta Force and Green Beret, the Green Berets are in Delta Force? Is that?
Well, no. So you have special forces, and the Green Beret is the special forces of the Army.
Right.
Okay. And then their elite unit, it's another whole, is Delta.
Okay.
And then you have Navy SEALs, and then their elite, or their equivalent to Delta, would be DevGru, which people will know as SEAL Team 6.
Right.
So he started off with Green Beret, and then he went through selection and became a Delta Force.
And then, like he said too, so the Delta Force and Navy SEAls are tier 1. They're considered tier 1 of the military.
Oh, no. Green Beret and SEALs would be more similar.
Okay.
Delta and DevGru are the only
Gotcha.
two
Right.
particular, that type of level.
Very cool. Very, I don't think, and I'm not criticizing people, but I don't think most people understand that dynamic, how that all.
It can be confusing for sure, but in all of them, I don't care if it's Green Beret, SEAL, they're all very unique.
Right.
Very unique.
And again, so Navy SEAls themselves, most military people do not call SEAL Team 6 SEAL Team 6. They call it DevGru.
Yeah, it's just a different acronym, and
Right.
I think there's actually a different acronym for Delta now. It's CAG, C-A-G, and I forget exactly what it stands for. But
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in Virginia Beach and the guy was explaining, like they won't, when they're talking to somebody, like if they're in a cab and the cab driver's there, they won't use SEAL Team 6 as their terminal. They make sure it's DevGru because nobody is kind of secret or more secret that way.
yeah, it's interesting. And even their missions are a little bit. So like Green Beret, they when they go overseas, and what they'll do, they'll grab indigenous people and train them up. So to be a Green Beret, you have to be fluent in different languages as well. It's pretty interesting the way they do it. Where Delta, they're still doing that, but they're more catch and kill kind of thing, going after bad dudes. Saying that the SEALs are always offensive missions, and then the DevGru, that's that hostage, like Captain Phillips is a great story right there. That's SEAL Team 6 or DevGru. Yeah.
Right. That was cool. Good friend here over in Singapore, young Filipino woman, fantastic person, very religious.
Awesome.
Good friend of the show now.
So
magical. What?
No, I was telling you the other day, saying a little video, like every time I read the paper, it gets more shocking what's going on.
Oh,
so
God,
I always go to the business section because you follow the money. That's what's really going on.
Sure. Yeah.
So you got Ozempic now, which is this magical drug that overweight people are utilizing to lose weight. They're having great results.
Right.
For now. I mean, I'm just waiting for the other shoe.
I know. How about like all the commercials now? And we got to be careful. We've discussed this before. I'm not critical of people the way they look if they're overweight. It's about a health issue. Like they had a diabetes drug. I think it was yesterday during the football. I was watching it, and they got a whole bunch of overweight people. Like it's acceptable to be overweight. And
Keytruda, I think it is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And then, so the article that really got me going the other day was the makers of Ozempic. They're looking to get FDA approval for children.
Oh, God. Wow.
So, like, maybe don't feed your kid a Pop-Tart for breakfast and send them off to school.
Yeah. But isn't it true? Like, we've talked about this before. They want it to be acceptable to be overweight. Like that old video we talked about, it was back in the, I think it was, I can't remember who the president was at the time. It was Kennedy. And he had the fitness class in school. Everybody's out doing pull-ups and push-ups.
If you got those gold shorts, you were a stud.
Yeah.
And first you got stripes, red, white, and blue. And, it was like how many push-ups and this and that. If you got the gold shorts with the John Kennedy presidential patch, you were writing your own ticket, man.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you think when we were in school, like the kids still go out for recess, don't they?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But they're probably looking at their phone.
Yeah, I know. And same thing with shop class. Like they don't know, not like I was an electrician or something like that, but I knew how to do things. Like we went to class to learn how to.
Well, growing up on a farm, you learn just from your dad.
Yeah. Totally.
If you wanted to. I remember my dad could do it all, right?
I know.
And he'd be showing me something on the lawnmower, and I'd be thinking, like, I could really go for a cookie right now.
I know.
You
know what it is too? And I mean, this same with your parents, tons of respect for them, but so my father liked to do it himself. So it wasn't like he didn't give me an opportunity to do it. It wasn't like I was begging to do it either. He did let me, after a while, start driving the riding lawnmower for cutting the grass. That was a big thing. I did. one of the first times I did it, we had a hay wagon, and I was trying to drive around the hay wagon to get all the grass. So the hay wagon is just low on, just high enough for the lawnmower to get underneath. But I drove underneath with me sitting on top of it, and the tires are spinning, and I'm hanging on. Oh God.
How
And
long did it take them to get you out?
you know what's funny? Like on the farm there, though, there's nobody around, so it's like I had to figure it out. I had to reach
Nobody's
down. I
coming
think,
for you.
yeah, I know I had to reach down. That was the thing. I know you know this stuff too, but my father, he was a volunteer ambulance driver as well.
Mhm.
So those farmers are out there by themselves in the middle of a field, like 100-acre field, and if something ever happened to the equipment, they wouldn't want to shut it down again. They go to try to fix it, and sometimes they get jammed up in the
Mhm.
equipment. And he said they'd go out there and try to. The guy had already gotten out, but he would bend some big metal pipe that there's just no way he could bend
Oh.
had he not made life to that decision, right? So
Well,
yeah.
Pat Verbeek, I think after his rookie year,
Yeah.
stopped
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they put it back on too? I
They
think
did, yeah. And
Yeah,
it actually worked out. I think it was his top hand, and it was kind of so right where the stick fit.
yeah.
It worked out for him.
Pat
but yeah.
Verbeek. Pat Verbeek, he was a tough little son of a gun too.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Maybe more school times for healthy times for conductive healthy. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
There's Brendan and I have talked about this numerous times. The correlation between scholastic performance and learning and understanding when the kids don't get enough sleep, and then you couple that with really just sugaring them up in the morning and shoving them out the door with
Yeah.
Captain Crunch.
Right.
It's just not.
Well, yeah, and we know scientifically now that's terrible for your brain as well,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, it's not. We don't know that it's fact.
yeah, right.
But yet every commercial is the drug to get you, so you
Yep.
can still send a kid out the door in
Yeah.
the morning with Captain Crunch.
Oh, totally. I know.
Nuts.
Yeah, I know. Here's our other magical veteran right there. Remember, Brendan, thank you for your service as well.
Yeah.
We got some great veterans following the show. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I found this app. Did we talk about this? Yucca, Yuka.
No.
So it just basically takes all the information that's on the nutrition label on the foods. You
Mhm.
scan it, scan the barcode on the foods, and then it spits out a score from 0 to 100, and on the health level. So if it's 100, obviously that's the healthiest. So if you get a low score, then you can go on and you can find out why you're getting a low score. A lot of times, like the additives, a lot of these foods, I know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, and I noticed, and Beth noticed also that it's just a very limited food group.
Yeah.
But it's always organic, and it's more expensive. It's hard to find. It's not always available, so you have to really do a little shopping. But like when I went out to Denver and you start eating commercial food and stuff like that, man, my stomach was jacked.
Oh, totally right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan, I apologize. You're right, Brian. I knew that, and that was just my oversight. Good to see you.
Yeah, it was Brian. Yeah, but still.
What he came up? That's right. So we're getting going on that Roscoe Mountain Club camp. We're
Yeah.
going to that. So we'll get Brendan Duffy up there, be our sleep expert.
That would be awesome.
Where my chicken? This guy's name here. Oh, where my chicken? Kurt Joslin lost the tip of a finger in a farm accident in the 80s. Did he really?
Yeah,
I played with
he was a good player.
Yes.
Guy.
Pengy.
Yeah.
We call him Pengy, the penguin. He could hit too. Small little guy. Oh, it's like a fire hydrant.
Bowling ball, man. You put a bowling ball on skates.
He's a good teammate too. He's a really good guy. I played together maybe half a season, I think. I don't think we had a whole season together.
Played most in Minnesota.
Yep,
didn't he?
Minnesota.
Big part of his career. Yeah.
Yep. And I think he was here. And then I think he went back to Minnesota after he was here in New York. But
I think was he an American? I think he was
yes,
an
I'm pretty sure.
American. Yeah,
I'm pretty
he
sure.
played,
Yeah.
no, he looked-
Yeah. Tough little guy. Yeah. He'd start trouble too because he wouldn't back down from anybody.
he was pretty tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. How was your weekend?
Good. I had that. I had a fundraiser yesterday. It was a boxing dinner in Patterson.
Oh.
We're trying to revitalize Lou Costello Gym, which was a very iconic gym in Patterson for decades, and then
Right.
had some financial issues and
Right.
kind of. So we're trying to bring it back. So it was pretty cool.
Those gyms, do they survive financially well? Do they make money, or is it like
No, they don't make so the inner city gyms where the real boxing goes on,
Right.
For the most part anyway. No, they're self-propelled. They're usually a 501(c)(3) nonprofit, and there's dues for the kids, but what are you gonna do? I mean, if they don't have the money, they don't have the money.
I know.
So it really requires a lot of fundraising, and in the past, what Beth and I did one year, we put a whole bunch of school supplies for a whole bunch of kids, made up little backpacks and brought them down. We had, because again, it's tough down there.
Right.
And then we, in conjunction with a couple of really cool people, we put together some huge Christmas parties. We had tons of gifts and games and everything like that. So that's the way these gyms, they become really a community center. And
Right.
Plus, they learn a great skill, and it's a good place to keep kids off the street.
Yes, our boy Mark Puttenvink does a lot of stuff for the community. How about the video I sent you the other day? So what was it? There was 5 people on a plane, and the plane was going to crash or something like that, and there was only four parachutes, and so I think so. Biden was on the plane. Wasn't Trump on the plane? Wasn't there a priest on the plane? Whatever it is. So there ended up being the joke. There was all the guy, 3 people had jumped. And the priest said, "Listen, son, you need to go. I'm an old man." He says, "No, it's fine. That old guy there that says he's the president stole my backpack."
Yeah.
Uses it.
You know what's sad about it? It's totally believable.
I know. I didn't know where it was going at first, and then I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." That's funny.
I don't know who I was talking to the other day, but I said we have more care, reverence, and concern about a professional sports team. If this guy was a coach of the Rangers or the manager of the Mets or whatever, he'd been gone.
Isn't that true? You know what? That's an excellent point. So imagine seeing Biden coaching the New York Rangers.
Oh my God!
It'd be.
Football on the ice.
But he can be the president of the United States. That's amazing. That's a really good way of looking at it. I never thought of that.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on. I don't want to get political. It could be.
No, it's not. It's not politics.
Mitch McConnell. He's a Republican. The guy just.
Oh, I know.
There's
And what's this?
Bad.
And they're making a big deal about the Speaker of the House. They haven't had a speaker. They're trying to decide on who's going to. Does anybody really care? Like, what difference is it making in our life?
They do because they can't get stuff through. So Congress spends money. They allocate and they can't get anything done. But here's the problem: how do we get to this point, guys? Figure it out.
I know.
Like.
But okay, but the average citizen walking down the street, has that changed their life in any way? Their day-to-day life?
Well, it can. I mean, eventually, because again, they can't do what they need to do.
What is it that they're doing? They're making themselves rich. Is what they're doing.
I was going to say, nobody goes into politics not to make money. That's the whole point of it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's pretty sad, but it's
and it's on both sides too, right? It's just that,
of course.
Yeah.
And again, there's some 81-year-olds like here's a perfect example: Mick Jagger. That dude could run a country. Right. And he's running around. He's still making albums. He's everyone. Tom, this guy can't even get off the. He's like, it's like.
And he flew into Israel, right? Did he fly into Israel last week?
Yeah.
Okay, so what? How would that? Didn't save too many lives.
Didn't go well. But I mean, look. Even Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. You got New York City just on fire. She flies over there. Why? What are you going to do as the governor of New York?
Yeah.
Other than a photo op and look at me, like I really care.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing with him. Like, why would anybody go? That doesn't help anybody.
It's all politics. Yeah, it's all politics. That's the problem. We don't have any governance. We have just politics now.
Yeah, don't worry about the environment. Well, that's the planes flying over there.
It's turned into it's like Big Brother. It's a game show now. Our politics.
Oh, I know.
Worldwide.
No kidding. God. Let me see. Barry Shelley up in Cooperstown, New York, the magical creature. You don't have to remember the house as a speaker. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, wasn't they talking about Trump there briefly about him being the speaker?
Yeah, I think that would have been hysterical. See him sit behind Biden during the State of the Union, and remember Pelosi and tearing up.
And isn't he the one so that when they have like hearings or something like that, he's got the gavel and everything too? Is that the Speaker of the House?
Yeah, see, now that would be fun.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. Hey. So, was it like 3 years ago, before the pandemic, they had the Ronald McDonald House Skate with the Greats, and I was the MC. So they had me go down there to ring the closing bell in Wall Street. So it was my mission. I'll show you the video. It was my mission to try to break the gavel. I was trying. If you see the video, I'm just hammering it. And the guy that's the keeper of the gavel, he's dying laughing after. He says, "You tried to break that, didn't you?" I said, "You darn right I did." He said they had to have it reinforced because somebody did break it years ago, so they had to have it reinforced. He says that was a good test. He said, "Tom, you tested it well, but that was good. That was fun. That was actually pretty cool going down there to you've been down there, yeah.
I have not. I mean, every year I think that they've had a swim, just about every year, like. The Friday before the swim, the SEALs go down and Bill and the guys ring the bell, and it's a whole thing. Yeah. I've never been. One of these days I'll get that.
Yeah, very cool. They got these other rooms, like this rooms like gold plated, and there was a whole story. I guess it was bombed like 100 years ago. It was bombed.
Yeah, that was the current. There was Antifa of the day back then.
Right. Yes.
Anarchists. They were anarchists.
Yeah.
And there's still, I think, one of those like stone wall kind of. There's a big chunk missing from when you looked up.
Yeah. Like the history of that building was some blue. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, anarchist people may remember Sacco Vanzetti, which was a famous couple of anarchists that were arrested, and it was a big trial.
Look at you. Look at you coming up with Sacco Vincetti.
Well, I like history because there was no math involved. Just read the book.
Wow.
Math and I are no good.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Rocco Vincetti. What was it?
Sacco.
Sacco.
They were both Italian immigrants, and they were anarchists, and they really were. The current at that time, they were trying to overthrow the government. Yeah.
Right. Well, Barry Shelley, you are quite a man. So he's got the video. He found the video of me on YouTube doing the opening bell.
There you go.
Closing bell.
There you go.
Oh God! And the people around, like the places, that little place where you stand is packed with people, and you said they're ducking for cover. Like, what's this guy do?
Splinters flying everywhere.
Oh man, I tried so hard to break it too. It was funny. That was a blast.
So what's going on with Taylor and man?
Who? Oh yeah, Kelsey.
That's what you hear about.
Oh, what? Yeah, what is the big deal? I don't mean to be rude. I guess I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just huge fans of hers. Yeah. But like this turned into like the thing now. It's like.
Oh, by the way, watched last night the first episode. It's really interesting on Netflix about David Beckham.
Yeah, what was it that he was cheating?
A pretty cool story.
Yeah. And is it his whole life story, or is that what it is?
Yeah, no, it starts off when he's a little kid, and I mean, he had Manchester United was a team. It's like a kid growing up in the city wanting to play for the Rangers, and
sure,
that's the story. And then the whole thing with Spice and everything. It's pretty cool.
And didn't he get caught cheating on her or something like that? There's some
I don't know about that, but early on, I mean, we watched the first episode, which was a little bit over an hour, and when he played for Team England, the coach, this guy Charlie Huddle, I think was jealous of the kid's talent.
Oh.
And kind of sat him.
Oh, is that right?
Against a huge game against, I think, Argentina. But it's just interesting. Yeah.
Right. So where do you get your news in the morning? Like, do you get up in the morning and read, or do you go on TV, or what do you do?
News, it's kind of hard.
I know.
You know, I'll watch TV for a few minutes and then I go, okay, this is the same thing over and over.
I know.
Over, you know.
I know.
So
I try to go to the New York Post for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's more of a conservative take on things, right?
In some ways, yeah. Most ways, yeah.
And then I go to USA Today, but then USA Today, like I like the scenes where they say, "This is what you should be learning," or "This is what everybody's talking about." Well, I'm not talking about it, so then everybody's talking.
It's really a problem because with electronic, like with social media now,
right? Most
people get their information from social media.
Yeah.
And social media. It's not journalism.
Totally. So yeah, you just don't know what to believe. Like all these reels and everything. Yeah.
See videos of Joe Biden, he's a lizard and stuff like that.
Or even like the stuff, and they make it look so real. When they had the fires in Hawaii, everybody's trying to claim it was this, they would control these beams coming down from space or whatever. Yeah. And they made it look so real, you could believe, well, okay, it looks like it's really happening.
Did you ever harp up in Alaska? It's like this in the middle of like nowhere. They got these huge, I don't know what the towers and stuff, and the government won't tell us what it is.
Oh.
And a lot of people think they can control the weather there.
I've heard all that stuff too. Yeah. I can't really say no. That's just not possible, right?
I don't know, but as far as aliens,
you're not buying it?
Nah. Well, because why would they want to come here? Like you just keep going.
I know that's true. Although, but I got to think to myself, there's millions and millions of space that I guess stars out there, planets.
There's somebody out there. They're just not here.
Yeah, I don't think they'd come, eh? I swear, I was mid '80s. I was living in Rybrook, New York, coming home, going over the Hutch, and there was about 20 cars stopped, staring up. We all thought it was a UFO, and it wasn't just us. It was my ex-wife at the time, or she's my wife at the time, one of the exes now. And we're all looking. It was. I would have sworn it was a UFO, and again, it was other people looking at it as well.
Well, anything's possible, and if they're here, can they help us out, man? Like,
no, maybe that's the thing too. They're trying to get away, and they're trying to wait so fast they crash.
Exactly.
Seriously, if like an intelligent life form on another planet comes down and looks at this stuff, like first of all, they probably get the ability to, before they get here, to look at what's going on the planet, right?
Right. I mean, can you help a brother out, man?
Or maybe it's like a good comedy show, right? Like we watch TV to them.
Morgan Mindy.
Yeah, Morgan. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers saw the UFO, so he saw it. Then
he sees a lot of stuff.
Oh, doesn't he? He lives in his own universe, doesn't he? Wow.
I
kind of get. I guess he's got the money to do it and the fame and all that kind of stuff, so he can go in those dark places.
There's been a lot of guys like that were into all that kind of.
I know, right? Yeah.
Who's
I think Tom Cruise, wasn't he in the Scientology?
Well, yeah, he still is. He's a major factor in it. Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, athletes. A lot of athletes. Like remember Bill Lee? pitched for Boston.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Spaceman Lee.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? Was he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Google him. He was interesting. And then hockey, I'm sure you knew some guys that were.
Well, how about the goalie? Was it Gautreau for the Rangers many years ago? Was he
Joe
really?
Vuitton.
Yeah, he was in all the planets and all that kind
He
of stuff.
believed in reincarnation, and
Yeah.
he thought that he's a goaltender because he was one of the people that threw stones at Christ. So now it's his turn. No, it's really,
Seriously?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you believe in water witches, water diviners?
What's that?
Do you know what water witch is? A water diviner?
What is it?
So my father was actually a water witch. I watched him. So they would get a stick that is shaped like in a V shape, and he would walk through the field, and the stick would spin down on its own to where the water was, and then they would drill a well there, and that's how the farmers found their wells. And I knew it. Like, I just grew up with that. I never thought to ask him before he passed, like, how did you know you're a water witch? Like, what's the first time you're walking through the field?
Well, you would think that maybe because there is magnetic forces, right? And maybe the human body, and then it would force the stick to point down. I don't know.
Yeah, I know some people look at me like, "Come on, Tom," but if you look it up, it's a real thing. There's
But it
actually
works.
clubs.
Yeah. It works. Yeah.
Some people use these metal rods. He used a wooden stick.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to walk around with a metal rod.
Yeah, I know. Walking through the field.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. I'm obviously a little late to the ship here, late to the party. AI. There's this app called Chat PTG, I think it is.
Right.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is.
Well, it's amazing. So somebody told me about it. Actually, the Uber driver was telling me about it. And so basically, if you want to write a paper.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So you say to it, okay, I want a paper on how does your mental health affect your physical health, and then it will write out. And if it'll give you, and again, you can tell it, listen, pretend I'm a 5-year-old, or you can say make it very scientific and 2 pages long. So it'll spit it out like in 5 seconds. Has this.
Yeah, it's a big problem in school.
Yeah.
And they're working on their version of AI that will detect patterns.
Right.
We'll say, no, this is
right.
AI. Yeah.
But then there's another thing called Grammarly. When then you take what AI, the Chat PTG puts in, and you put it through Grammarly, and it edits it and changes words, so it doesn't look like it's AI.
Most people should use that before they send me a text.
No kidding. No kidding. We should send that to some friend of ours. Yeah, a certain friend. Well, certain person we know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So somebody doing an event with Kenny Albert actually on Wednesday at Versa in the city there at the Renaissance Hotel. It's some speaking engagement we're putting on. And Jackie, our girl at the Rangers, needed a bio. So I said, I'll use this. I'll give it a try. I said, do a bio on Tom Laidlaw, the former National Hockey League player. Spits out this thing. Now, it wasn't perfect. It had me playing for the Philadelphia Flyers. So you do have.
So there are problems.
Yeah, you still have to edit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But very cool. Like I'm thinking of doing a newsletter. But I thought to myself, oh, God, I got to put it together. I got to edit it. You know, the time factor. I thought with this thing. And I've asked a few people, I want to get your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think, not strongly, but think it could be plagiarism. But it's really just doing all.
I think it depends on if you give the AI the topic, the point you're trying to get across, and they put it together. In my mind, it's not any different than if you write something and the editor is going to edit it.
Yeah. Anyway. And it's really it's going and researching online the same place I would research to get information.
So if it's your thought and it's your, I don't see a problem with that.
Interesting. I guess it's like anything else. You just disclose. You say, listen, this is generated. I think it's better to disclose what you're doing. Maybe not. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, I think AI is used a lot. I know I had a call for the TV or something. I'm sure I was talking to AI because they were asking me questions and they were walking me through how to troubleshoot the TV. I'm pretty sure it was AI. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
so there's good applications, but there's some scary ones too.
But you're right about school. Like kids now, if they can get away with doing their papers, so they never really have to learn anything. They just talk to them.
Even just Siri. I mean, imagine in school if we had Siri.
I know.
Yeah.
So I've got Google here. I talk to her every day. I told you the story. Like the start of the pandemic, I asked if she loved me. I asked Google if you. I said, "Do you love me?" She went on like for hours, not hours, a couple minutes about how fantastic I was. It's funny though. At the end of the pandemic, I asked her the same thing. She said, "I don't have feelings."
I guess she lost interest in it.
Yeah, it's like women do that with me, right there. Love me at first, and then no, that's not.
And it's then the AI.
Yeah, AI. That's very interesting, though. You think about that all, but isn't that? You can think about down the road, like, so if the machines become so smart, we can't turn them off.
Well, I think that we're getting close to a point already where, like I just said, you don't know if you're really talking to a person or in the back at you.
Right.
And again, I think if you look at it from that standpoint, it's not bad, but it is bad if you're not understanding them and you need a human being. I hate hate the fact that when you call them out for anything, you're not really speaking to a person for
Yeah, I
about 20
know.
minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Press this, press that. I need it. And you
I
end
know.
up talking to a live human at the end anyway.
Right, I know. Is
You
that
know,
true?
can you
There's a
just go
magical Beth in the background there. Like you saw
She just
her.
went for a magical. How many miles did you run?
Almost 6.
6 miles.
Just 6. Luisa says
Yeah,
it too. Just
I know.
6. Yeah. That's nothing. I'm just warming up at 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Show
I've taken. I told him I've taken a little time off from the gym. I'm trying to do more walking. Just felt
Good
like,
for you.
yeah, it's something different too, right?
Yeah.
So get to walk in the morning and do a midday walk. Nice fresh air. It's getting a little cooler here.
Yeah, this morning it was like 42 here.
Yeah, it wasn't a little crisp. That's why we got the flannel on today. People have
Yeah,
noticed that.
I was going to do it myself, but
Yeah. You got your Under Armour there thing going?
Yeah.
You fitness man, you. I got a ton of armor. Somebody bought me Lululemon. Beth, what's happening there? I see you. What's happening?
Hi, how are you?
Look at that gorgeous creature. Look at her. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Oh, that got to get the dog's jealous.
Yes,
Sophie's
of course.
jealous.
Of course.
Beth ran Detroit last week.
Oh, that's right. Congratulations. I saw that online. Good job. Wow.
So it was a lot of fun.
Where was it? Right in downtown Detroit where you ran?
It was it started in downtown and
Right.
then it went over that Ambassador Bridge.
Oh, that's right.
To Windsor, yeah.
And then into Windsor, and then you went through. It was about 4 miles through Windsor, and you went through the tunnel,
Right.
and then you popped up on the.
Right downtown there. Right. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Very cool.
Yeah,
So
it was
Detroit's
cool.
really got cleaned up quite a bit too. It's nicer downtown now, right?
It was. You know what? It was. I was shocked at how
Huh.
nice it was.
Very cool.
I forgot to tell you, there's a new bridge called the Gordie Howe Bridge.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So
Yeah.
April 27th, we're going in the Ranger alumni plays the Detroit alumni in Fraser, Michigan. So we stand downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When are you going?
Fraser,
is that?
Michigan. Yeah, Fraser.
No, when?
April 27th.
Oh, cool.
Yes, really nice gentleman. Joe, it's awful. Valent. Oh, it's awful. No,
Where,
Joe
Detroit?
Neville. Joe Neville, a guy from Detroit, pretty wealthy. Him and his business partner, I can't remember his name. They're just putting it on themselves. It's not through the Red Wings alumni.
Mhm.
And they've got it tied to a children's charity.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're paying for us to come in and taking care of us, putting us up downtown. So fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, we did.
Who's playing for Detroit?
So I think John Ogrodnik,
Yeah.
Dino says, I guess they want to have a full lineup there. So you're gonna have eight defensemen and 4 lines. And Joe Neville was telling me that Dino Cicerelli was complaining because he only wanted to have 3 lines because he wanted to play more. So the alumni game,
It
wanna
makes
play-
sure Dino remembers proper attire.
oh God, oh that's right. I'd like to know the real story. Like, so what he was in his garage naked? Is that what it was?
If I remember correctly, he went out to get the newspaper, which
Right.
required him to go across the front yard.
Right.
And it was like, I think in the dead of winter, it would snow everywhere.
Right.
And I guess he was in a rush and just forgot his pants.
Oh, okay. So I thought he had some conflict with some woman or something like that. It was-
Again, I might be wrong.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I remember. And who knows?
Oh, so he went out
Whatever
with
it was, it was pretty jacked up.
he went out
Yeah.
without his pants on. Some hockey players. Remember the time Al McInnes and he did this right before we came into play. He was at some wedding. I think it was a wedding party or something. I can't remember what it was. And he got really hammered, took his shirt off, and was drawing things on his nipples. Right
At the wedding.
at the wedding. Yeah, it's at the wedding or some kind of party. And so we're playing him like the next day when it came out in the papers, and we're giving it to him on the bench. Like, really, you wrote on your nipples? Like what?
I got one better. I won't use any names, but
Okay.
one of my old sparring partners and another guy. So my sparring partner's getting married. The other guy, he fought Larry Holmes, so he's a pretty high level dude,
right.
But he's crazy. But we
Right.
all grew up together. So at the wedding when the priest says, if anybody here thinks that, right? So he got a 9-month pregnant woman to go to the wedding with him
Oh.
and had her stand up and say, I won't use his name.
Oh
Whatever.
no.
Don't go through with this. Think of our baby.
That's classic.
And
Oh,
everybody was like,
oh,
horrifying.
good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, you just got to say hello to Dougie DeVito here. He had his hip replaced. I believe I get that correct. I made a mistake. Dougie, how are you doing,
shoulder,
brother?
I thought it was shoulder.
Was it shoulder? Yes, you're probably right.
Forget. I think we had it
Yeah.
backwards.
Well, he got 2 surgeries. He got a hip and a shoulder,
Oh,
according
man.
to us. Yeah. So we talked about this, I think, but the funny video where an elderly gentleman knew he was going to pass away soon made the audio of him pretending he was in the coffin. You seen that one?
Yeah.
Oh, classic stuff. It was the hip, Doug. I did get it right. Like you.
What you could do is just like pre-record a text message to go out to everybody
Yeah.
and have somebody send it. Hey, I think I left my keys in the car. Go get them.
I've told my boys, I said, listen, I want to be cremated. So we're going to do a video saying, get me out of here. It's hot in here. I'm burning up.
I saw one. It was a picture of Randy Macho Man Savage. Sitting
Oh, yeah.
in the sunset on the dock.
Right.
And it says, if I die on the day that I work, it's early in the morning. I don't want to waste a day at work. Or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, if I die on a work day, I hope it's in the morning. I don't want to waste a day at work.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I pay my rent the last possible day just in case I die. You know, Mark, this is why last time we hiked, you asked me to put the nipple tassels on.
Well, it's only because the deer like it, Keith. It's
Oh, God.
for the wildlife.
Seriously, I am bad. Like the rent is due on the 1st, but you have like a 9-day grace period. So I don't pay it till the 10th because they, what if I die between the 1st and the 10th when I'm wasting
There
all
you
my money?
go. There's another example.
Yeah. See, that's planning, I think.
Yeah.
Planning.
That's forward thinking.
Forward thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of forward thinking, do you back your vehicle in when you go drive someplace? Do you always back in? Yeah, I do. I get a bad habit. I can't.
Yeah, what is that? It's like either you like cilantro or you
Yeah.
don't.
Yep.
People, I'm not a back parker.
Yeah.
I don't look down upon it, to be honest with you.
I know other people do. Yeah. Like it's like you're wasting time. Well, you got to back out sometime.
What's
You
the
gotta-
obsession?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I
listen,
am obsessed.
There are times actually it could be a smart thing to do, especially if you're a female and you're parking in a big lot.
Yep.
You want to have access to get out. But like out here where we live, there's back parkers, and I don't respect them.
Is that right? Hey, wow.
Yeah,
It is.
'cause
It is.
It's like there's no threat here. We're in it.
No, see, my theory is I'm always ready to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get in and go.
No, I mean, in reality, it's a good thing because to your
Right.
point, if you got to get to the emergency room real quick, get in the car, go.
I think we've got the dogs walking with a leash situation taken care of. I think I've educated people properly. I think the dog actually got loose the other day, and the guy was in a panic mode. I was sitting out in my back deck, and he saw me there, and he's like, "Dog, get the dog, get the dog."
You're like the dog catcher, man.
Oh, I'm terrible. I am. It's because I think to myself, it's just, you know what it is? Okay. The dogs off the leash in itself is not that big of a deal. But then you get one dog and you get 10 dogs and 20 dogs. And then you got the people, parking in my parking spot, parking where they're not supposed to park. The grass is a mess. Come out the other day, guys around my back deck blowing off the leaves. My stuff's flying all over the place.
You walk around with a clipboard.
Yeah.
Seriously. Walk
Right.
around with a clipboard.
Right.
And have like a fine jar.
Good point. I like
Like
it.
a little buck,
That's right too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got these 2 cars. So there's a sign parking, clearly marked, numbers on them, the whole bit. So they want to park right in front of their unit where there's no parking. It's just a road. It's an active roadway, and there's a fire hydrant there. They want to park in front of the fire hydrant.
Well, that's
Like-
just
Yeah,
dangerous.
okay. So I want to say to them, like, what if your place catches fire?
Yeah.
Now the fire department can't get to the fire hydrant to save you, right? Sophie, she agrees, right? She agrees
Go ahead,
totally.
in the crate. In the crate. Go.
Oh
Go,
no,
go,
we
go.
got her in trouble. We got her in trouble.
So, she's in the sin bin.
Okay, so here's another. So this happens at Costco as well. Find a spot where she can drive in and go to the spot ahead, so she can just drive right out. So yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? That's all right.
No, that's smart. And also, what I was going to say, I always park close to where you return the car.
Yeah. Well, see, now I don't. I've got my Costco's parking spot. I park in the same spot, so it's a little bit of a hike. I take the cart back. You can't
Well,
leave
has
the
your
cart.
name there, right?
Yeah, it should. And you can't leave the cart in the random spot. You have to take it back to the cart spot. Right.
No, I always bring it back
Right.
to the car spot.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I park close, I put the stuff in, and then
Right.
oh, yeah.
Then that's another pet peeve too. Take your cart back. Like why not? You can't get the exercise. And usually it's some fat person too that should be exercising.
Or
We
it's
should-
just an arrogant person. I
Yeah.
said to a dude once, "You're not really." And I was very nice about it. You're not really
Right.
bringing it back. He goes, "No."
You know
Like
what?
being,
Oh.
being like, "No."
Oh.
I feel like saying,
You know what I like to do? If there's somebody's leaving it, and before they can get to their car, I'll go say, "I got it for you," and put it back. A classic move there. Yeah, I get great joy out of that. Great joy.
"Great joy."
Totally. Yeah.
Oh man, I know it is the simple things in life, right?
Yeah. I know, isn't it true? Like, what's the big? It's really not a big deal. But
It is.
but then I get to be buddies with all the guys at Costco that go around the parking lot there and get the carts.
Yeah.
Like, and they're working their rear end off. It's
Oh,
hot
yeah.
days. They're sweating
Well,
and everything.
By our store here, it's all it's adults that are mentally handicapped, and
Right.
I can feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Like you can't just bring it home.
But I guess the same thing is if we all put our carts back, then those guys wouldn't have jobs, though, right?
No, but then they have to bring them over, so they
Yeah. Good
they're
point.
going to bring them back here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent point. Yeah. Huh. Very good. Yeah, isn't it weird why that bothers me so much?
So now what I do too, this is self-fulfilling. This is like a little bit of Zen. It's more for me than them. But if it's an older man or woman, I'll say, "Hey, I'll get it for
Yeah,
you."
sure.
Because then I feel like the kid again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. One day I was in Costco. This older gentleman, really nice guy, didn't get a card, and I think it looked like he said, "Oh, I just need one thing," but now he's got 3 or 4 things, so he's having a hard time carrying them.
Yeah.
So my cart was like half full, so I said, "Be a nice guy." I said, "Come on, put your stuff in there. We'll go check out together." And then and again, he's got to carry the stuff from Costco. He has no bags, so he's got to go to his car. So I said, "Listen, I'll walk you out." So we started chatting a little bit, like, "What do you do?" and all stuff. He was a priest.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, oh, that worked out pretty good. I got God on my side now.
You got a blessing.
Yeah. Didn't work out. Didn't make a difference.
You just showed me something. You said half full means you're a positive thinker.
Yes. Oh,
Could be half empty.
Yeah. It's like when you go to, people say you go to a red light. Well, I go to a green light.
Yeah.
It's not a stop sign. I guess it is a stop sign. It's not a stop light. It's a go light. Right.
Well, in Jersey, there are no stop signs. People just go right through them.
Oh man, the driving has got nutty around here. Oh my goodness.
Everywhere, man. It's nuts.
Yeah. Just everybody be careful going through you don't stop at a stop sign. Just make sure that everybody stops, man. Ooh. All right, Brendan Duffy, magic creature, always back in a hot. Yeah, didn't run over any drunks. Yeah, that's a good point. See, that's good thinking by Brendan Duffy there. Smart man. Let me see what the great Barry Shelley says here. It's paying up money. Some people will park halfway into two. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad one too. Taking 2 spots up. Especially somebody does that like intentionally. I can see if somebody just doesn't, like it's an old person.
Yeah, because they got a really nice car.
Yeah.
It means that much. You don't drive it.
Actually, I was taught a lesson years ago because I did that. I was at Stop and Shop and I did that. Came back. Somebody keyed my car. I took 2 spots, and I thought, well, I don't like the fact.
You and I earlier were talking about Zach. Remember what he said about the Purple Hearts parking and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. And
he has 3 Purple Hearts?
Yeah.
But he doesn't use it because there's somebody in a wheelchair that really needs it.
Remember the way he said that too? What did he say? I've got a few. Did he say a few Purple Hearts? Yeah, it's like a casual thing, right? And I had to stop. I had to stop him and say, "What? What do you mean?"
Yeah, they're those men. They're a little bit different than us.
Yeah,
in a good way, in a great way.
Oh, I will never. I know I've told the story so many times, but the guy that was on the boat with us, the barge,
and Billy Branham.
Yeah, he had the scar. I thought it was Mr. Tough Guy because I had the scar from my spleen taken out, and he goes, "Yeah, I got shot." Yeah,
they don't move stuff around. He said.
Yeah, that was. I'll never forget the way he said that too. That's good. There's our veteran buddy. Always notice people leaving the carts as parking spaces. Rich loves you. Well, yeah. Isn't that true? Like the whole concept, like. Take your cart back.
Keith just figured out without knowing what I drive that I don't have a nice car.
Yeah, like that's aggravating just thinking about it. Like I want to go to Costco right now just to walk around the parking lot.
Hey, why don't we take a show on the road?
Yeah.
We'll walk through the parking lot. We'll make sure people are tidying up.
Oh, that would be a classic show, wouldn't it? Go into Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can introduce me to all the people you know there.
That's true. Norris, the chicken guy. Dan works at the door there. We got the hugs going on. Hugging and hugging
the bro hug when you walk in.
Oh yeah, bro hugs, the high fives. Yeah. Got the nice older ladies in there, and hi, sweetheart.
Yeah. Again, you're the kid.
Oh, it's true. Yes.
See?
Yeah. I was walking around. I told you about that app, and I've got such a big mouth.
So what do you hold the phone over like a label?
The camera goes over the barcode.
That's pretty cool.
Barcode. Yeah, it just beeps and
it tells you calories, fats.
Yep. So the first thing it does is give you the score, and then it'll, if you want, then you can go in farther where it tells you, okay, here's all the good stuff will be in green, all the bad stuff, like the really bad stuff's in red. They've got it all color coded, and it tells you what, like a Grey Poupon, for example. I thought that was pretty healthy, but it's very high in salt. So you scan the Grey Poupon, for example, it'll then give you the kind of a bad score, like 35 or something like that. Then it gives you a healthier alternative, like the spicy brown Mott's spicy brown mustard. Yeah. It's just interesting. Yeah. What's that? Sorry.
What's the name of it?
Yucca. Yuka. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's basically taking all the stuff that's really on the nutrition label, but it's just putting it in a score for you and telling you what it's all about.
That's a great app. Great idea.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, as you know, a lot of additives and everything in foods.
Well, people would be surprised if they went, especially through the condiments, ketchup and all that kind of stuff, even barbecue sauce. It's all high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
When you see that's the second ingredient, stay away from it because that stuff's just poison.
I've gotten bad because I'm now the food police. Every time I see people, it's like I was at an event Tuesday night in the city, really nice restaurant, Principe down in the city, and really good food and everything like that. And people's like, "Are you going to eat?" And I said, "I just don't eat out public very much. I eat at home." I've taken it to the extreme now.
Yeah. Again, when I went on just a couple days in Denver, my stomach was jacked.
Yeah. I know, right? We need us fried food and stuff. Yeah.
Well, even if you get what you think is a good meal, like chicken and
Yeah.
stuff, there's something different about it.
Yeah. So yesterday made pork chops on the grill.
Saw that, yeah.
So a little marinade with honey, avocado oil,
But going back
salt.
to the condiments, what I'll do now, I'll just take mayonnaise and I put a really good brown spicy mustard in it
Yep.
and mix it together. That's
Yeah.
Put that on
Done.
whatever.
Definitely.
chicken,
Yeah,
turkey.
make your own stuff, man. Like I make that dipping sauce with all the vegetables and just all vegetables and capers. Capers are a fruit. I did not know capers are a fruit.
They're pretty cool. Yeah.
Capers,
They're
yeah,
great
like
with fish.
yeah, and even rinse them off so they get rid of some of the sodium because they're high in sodium.
Yeah.
But,
Right? Yeah, there's things you could. I mean, mustard, I think in general is a little salty because it's.
Yeah.
But to your point, there's better alternatives.
Yeah. And that's the thing with this yucca, it gives you alternatives on it. On the bad foods, not on the good foods, obviously, they don't give you much. But I found a good bread. You ever seen that Dave's Killer Bread?
Yes.
That's very, very healthy for
And
you.
that's got live stuff in it. I'm not going to say like spirulina and.
Oh, is that bad?
Yeah, so there's some breads that they really don't have. I don't know if they don't have grain, but they. And I think Dave's is one of them.
Oh. Yeah, isn't it? They say like the old days, like they go to bakery bread. That's the bread we really should be eating, right? Because the other bread,
Yeah, I don't eat bread that
yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while, but in general, I don't. But if you're going to, then yeah, you're much better off.
Yeah.
And again, if it's a little bit here and there, it's not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to be eating 12 sandwiches a day with white bread and
totally.
big
Yeah.
long hoagies. I mean, they're
Yeah.
tremendous to eat. They're fun, but they're
Yeah.
not good for you.
Chicken in the air fryer. Yes, you get those little chickens. Like I don't do anything. I just put it right in the air fryer because I'm not eating the skin, so I don't need a season or anything like that. And throw it in there and cooks up.
Yeah, well, I have a Dutch oven. I just throw the whole roaster in there on top of potato, onion, and carrot.
Oh, nice.
Pop it in the oven, and man, everything's done. It's so
Yeah.
easy.
I know you got all the vegetables in there and everything. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good, especially when the weather turns like this. You want a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
Nice football Sunday. Get some nice warm food going.
Yeah.
There, nice
Yeah.
chili. Nice. You ever make a pot of chili? You ever make chili?
I have in the past, yeah.
Yeah. Turkey meat chili.
And again, you could to your like whatever you want to use.
Yeah.
To go with traditional, whatever you like.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have to be like chili can come in a lot of different forms, right?
Chili's a concept.
Yeah, it is. Same thing with my ketchup. Well, I call it my ketchup. It's a dipping sauce. Really, that's what ketchup.
I mean, the people that are really involved in it, I mean, they really these chili cook-offs. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
serious stuff, man.
Yeah. Do you like hot food? Like spicy?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, you spice it up pretty good?
Yeah.
What's your best spice to heat it up? Are you like a red pepper flakes or?
Yeah, generally speaking, like when I'm cooking, that's what I'll use. And if you
Right.
use it early on, you don't really, it kind of blends in. So one of the things I learned off of TV shows, when you put your oil, like olive oil in, you warm it
Right.
up, you put your hot pepper in it so it infuses into it.
Oh,
And then it gets into the food in a different, you know what I'm saying? It's
wow.
a different way of doing it.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get fancy. I got a big thing from Costco of pink salt, but it's got the big wide mouth on it, so you can just pinch your fingers and like. And I never
Right.
really, I never really thought, okay, why do you do the pinch? But I guess you know better how much you're putting in unless you want to
Well,
use
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a
Feel
great way to go.
Yeah.
I use this Kinder's, and
it. Yeah, I've seen that.
great product.
It's got flavored spices.
All
right?
kinds.
So,
Yeah. And so I get this wood fired barbecue, whatever, and it's on anything. Fish,
Oh.
not fish, chicken, beef,
Right.
lamb chops. It's phenomenal.
I like getting a little honey in some of like those meats, so like kind of you put it in the grill and kind of sears up or chars up and everything like that. Oh,
Yeah, I think ribs. They use
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And ribs are sweet enough.
Ooh, like the pork chops yesterday had that nice char to it. Ooh,
Pork chops, yeah, because pork you
Yeah.
want to jazz it up a bit. They're pretty.
yeah, but like you said, the corn. I love the taste of corn, but yeah, you rent it. Yeah, and that is amazing. Like
you're
okay,
really
so
renting it. Yeah.
so you eat the corn, you chew it up nicely, but it comes out the next day at the other
There's
end.
no nutritional value to it.
Yeah,
hardly
and it's
any.
all put back together too.
Yeah, yeah,
Might as well put it back on the cob.
yeah.
Right.
Jesus.
You think about that though, like you're chewing. I know I'm chewing that
Yeah.
corn, but
Yeah.
it doesn't come out chewed the next day.
No, like I said, it's just a rental.
It's a miracle. You also can put a camera inside your stomach and see what's going on. Like, how is the corn
Yeah.
getting back
Might be
together?
somebody putting it all back together.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But
fun.
I think I think it was introduced into our American diet. I think in Europe predominantly,
Oh,
corn is looked at that's feed for animals.
is that right?
And then when we came here, the natives,
Natives, yeah.
and that's how we kind of got introduced
Yeah.
to it.
We used to grow our own corn. So we had the corn that we would feed to the cows that would go into the silo, and then we had our own sweet corn that we made. And it's funny because the kids at the end of the year, the hockey year, all the city kids would come out to our farm, and we'd have a big cook-up. We'd get the bales of hay around, have a little bonfire. My dad had this big, I guess, metal tub or something like that, and he'd hang it. He'd had the front end loader, and he'd hang the pot with water over the fire, throw
Yeah.
the corn into the pot, the fresh corn right off the field,
Very
and then
cool.
eat it. Oh, the guys were going nuts. And I think we had a big bath. Like
Oh,
I think
it's delicious. You get
Oh.
Jersey sweet corn from like
Oh.
George, it's tremendous.
yeah,
But some of the natives and the Mexicans, they would smash it up and mill
Yeah.
it, and they would make all of. So it was their staple. And like I tell you, there's the Pima Indian tribe, native tribe out in I think it was New Mexico or Arizona, and they did a study because they had this huge increase of like 85% morbid obesity, where people were like really
Right.
ill from it. What they found was that their diet for centuries was just corn-based diet.
Right.
So they had very little fat in their diet. And when they did, they developed this fat-sparing gene. So whatever little bit of fat that they absorbed through their diet, they kept.
oh,
When they switched over to the typical American, fast food diet and everything else,
Right.
because of that fat-sparing gene, they held on to all the fat. Well, boom,
Right.
they exploded.
Right.
Pretty
what's the best protein powder to take?
don't.
Oh, really? Oh, how about
Well, I'll tell you what. So it's processed, right? And the one thing about supplemental industry is that there's no FDA does not oversee it,
Right.
except to say you have to have somewhere on the label that any claim you make, it's not backed up by the FDA.
Wow.
So the problem I have are twofold, couplefold. One is, are you taking 30 grams or 5 grams? Because there's no regulation, so you don't know exactly what you're taking. Secondly, it's expensive. Just eat eggs. Eat
Right. I
chicken.
guess if you're eating enough food, there's good proteins
Yeah,
in it.
and
Yeah.
for convenience sake, sure. Like at the gym, if you gotta get 30 grams in, and again, are you getting 30 grams? I don't know.
Right.
I can see the convenience part of it. Primarily, it's whey, which a lot of people have a very hard time processing.
Right.
I know I do. I can't drink any of those drinks. It just destroys my
Oh,
gut.
really?
There are plant-based proteins, but
What about
I don't know,
collagen? Is collagen peptide, is that a protein?
collagen, no. Collagen, and it's a good thing to do because it's good for your skin. It's good for your bones.
Yeah.
But a protein is it's an amino acid, basically.
Right.
A group of amino acids.
And do you believe in taking supplemental amino acids?
Again, what are you taking? I mean,
Right.
you have to know if you're taking a good source, and it's there are, I think, some standards now that you can check labels that
Right.
give you a better understanding of what kind of purity or what the ingredients are. Yeah, if you're training hard, there's no harm in it.
Okay.
I just don't know how much you get from it.
Yeah. Right.
Because let's face it, if you look at any fitness person that's in magazines, it's all steroids.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And it's all photoshopped and everything too. Yeah.
And it's a huge industry.
Right.
The supplement, you're talking billions and billions of dollars.
Right.
And
I
I've
was
always
taking-
told,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, no, I always tell young athletes, look, you can pick up any muscle and fitness or men's health and stuff like that. You're going to see guys that are completely jacked, and they're going to be alongside supplement of the month.
Yeah.
And if any one of those natural supplements really worked,
Yeah.
everybody'd be doing them.
Yeah.
They just
I
don't.
was so my energy drink in the morning was this amino energy with the green tea caffeine in it.
Mhm.
But I scanned it with my yucca, and the additives in there was off the chart.
Well, food coloring. Right?
Yeah.
So food coloring, and you have additives to get flavor. Yeah. So you're
So
better
then
off drinking.
How about
cup of
matcha? How
coffee.
about matcha? Do you have matcha powder?
I have in the past. It's good. Yeah, I mean, but that's a tea. That's a form of a tea. So it's
Yeah.
natural.
Right.
So
Yeah,
like
but then
for your,
it really it really dehydrates me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
so
Wow.
people would be surprised to know the highest bioavailability in nutrition is an egg. And it has 98%, meaning that 98% of that protein in that egg you're going to absorb.
Right.
It's the highest bioavailability. So I would say this. If you want to do amino acids and caffeine in the morning, drink some coffee or green tea or matcha, something natural.
Right.
And then train fasted. And then when you're done training, then have some eggs. Because
Right.
now you're going to absorb 98% of that protein.
Right.
All right. That's just the way I would
Yeah.
look at it.
Like sometimes if you get caught up into stuff, like what's the other one? Creatine? Yeah, creatine, right?
Creatine, there is some mostly anecdotal evidence that it does work. But again, what is your goal? So
Right.
if you're an Olympic athlete, and creatine is going to give you 0.05% increase. That could be a world record.
Right.
If it's Mark who just wants to do 15 pull-ups instead of 12, it's not gonna.
Right.
It's not gonna
So
do it.
basically, it feeds your muscles, right? Like gives your muscles more energy.
So, without getting too wonky here, but so energy is derived by ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. So if you imagine three,
You are smart. Look at you. Go, Mark. Go.
it's a triangle. Where's the triangle? So you got 3 phosphate molecules. One of them breaks off. That creates energy within the cell. So now you have 2. So it's ADP, diphosphate. It grabs an available creatine phosphate molecule in your cell, reconverts to ATP for further energy. So the thought is, if we flood the cell with creatine, which is a phosphate, that reproduction will happen for a longer period of time. So you don't, it's not muscle building. It allows you to get more work load in the same
Gotcha.
amount before you fatigue.
And I take beta alanine and citrulline. Is it beta alanine feeds the muscles, but not the same way? But
And again, those are really good amino acids to be taking. Just
and there's
again,
there's no fillers in that at all. That's just
right. So again, you have to source it out. You have to make sure you're doing a quality product.
Right.
What's really scary, like if you go on Instagram, there's all these influencers right
Oh,
now.
I know.
I'm watching this kid the other day, and it's cool. I've seen guys do it. It looks cool. But, so you got the protein powder, not the protein powder, the energy powder.
Right.
They just take the scooper, they lean, they tilt their head back in the gym with
Yeah.
that. And the guy's like tremendous. He's jacked. And, you know what he's doing. He's doing
totally,
trend or something. He's doing
How about smelling salts? You ever use smelling salts?
so out in Denver, one of the guys goes, "Hey, Mark," and he had like this little vial in the locker room. And I swear, from me to you now, you can smell. I was like, "Wow,
Oh
I'm
man.
good."
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
think it was Keith actually.
Yeah.
Or not
We used to
Keith,
use them all the time. When I was coaching with John Tonelli, the U14 team, the kids were all using it. And I was just used to using it all the time. John didn't know they were doing it, and he found out. He flipped out. He thought it was terrible for you. I don't think
Well, it's not bad for you.
Yeah, it's just ammonia, right?
It just gets you like this. Yeah.
The other
So-
one is I've got this powdered wasabi thing, so you just add water to it.
Be careful with that, man.
I don't need smelling salts. That does it just as much, man.
Yeah, it'll open up your nasal cavities and everything.
But I just got it. This is months ago. I just got it. I didn't realize how strong it was. I made up a batch, covered it in Tupperware, so it's covered. And then my son's girlfriend, a lovely person, Val, she opened it up, put her nose down to it. Poor girl. I felt terrible. Her eyes were wide. And for a long time, too, it lasted. So, you don't need smelling salts with that stuff.
Yeah, I worked with a guy years ago. He brought a little tiny pepper in his mother grew from Europe, Eastern European. I forget where they're from. And I had Tom. I'm telling you, like a little bit. Man, I was. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fire.
That's a terrible feeling when you get like that. It doesn't stop. You need a glass of milk, I think, right?
Eating
Just milk.
crackers and everything like that. Milk, everything didn't help.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. Fantastic show today from the center of the universes,
Right here.
where the UFOs live. Right there, I can see them. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Secret.
Keep
Biden's jumping out of the plane with the backpack.
Yeah.
That was parachute. That was funny. All right, everybody, have a great day. Everybody, remember 988 is that suicide prevention hotline and mental health hotline. And reach out. Let's make it really a habit of daily practice of helping other people. A lot of mental health issues out there. We can really make a difference with people. So everybody have a fantastic day. You magical creature, Mark Putvink. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.